Welcome to 2021. My mom and I started 3 days ago watching Game of Thrones for the first time ever. And I finished it, and I'm just going to give an op-ed analysis of my take as a gay man watching Game of Thrones Season 1, 10 years later. I had no idea what I was missing out on. I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. So here we go. What I'm going to do, at least for this first video, is I just have all of the characters I want to talk about and give my takes on them, what happened to them, my what the fuck moments that happened with them. Let's just dive in. Ned Stark. How... I've been told that people die in Game of Thrones a lot, but when he died and was executed, I kid you not, I was like, this cannot be real. This cannot have just happened. I loved him, and I was heartbroken when he died. I literally, for a good probably 3 minutes, because it's how episode 9 ends, I just watched the screen as it was black, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I'm really sad because I thought he was such a good guy, but life goes on. His wife, Catelyn, I kind of like her, she seems like a good mom. I was kind of pissed when Jon Snow was leaving to go to the Wall, and she wasn't super nice to him. She was like, get out of my place. I think it was kind of in terms of that he's the bastard son, and I don't know. I was just kind of annoyed at that moment. I was like, what the fuck, woman? Be nice. This is your stepson. But she was an awesome mom. She stayed with Bran for weeks, and I loved how she got her own character line. She went for it, and she has that sister. I have no problem with breastfeeding at all, but that was pretty interesting that Robin is 9 and he still breastfeeds, but it's literally zero judgment. I do not judge people. I'm all for it. I don't judge that. It was pretty shocking the first time to see a 9 or 10-year-old doing that, but you do you. Their son, their oldest son, Robb, first off, he is so hot. He is so hot. He is so hot. Really. I just love that actor. For some reason, right now, I can't place his name, but just heartthrob of the season. And the fact that, he got all of, the bannermen to rally around him, and he stepped up to the plate. And the most heartbreaking part for me was when he's, hacking at the tree after him and his mom found out that his dad died, and they just, cry in each other's arms. And, yeah, that was so beautiful. But mainly just every time he comes on the screen, I'm like, hubba, gosh, you're so beautiful. We go to Sansa. Sansa is a little bitch. But also then by the end, I feel so bad for her. But the first thing that cemented that was when Arya stood up for her, the Butcher Boy's son, and then Joffrey and her, and she didn't back up her sister. Which I get, yes, he's the prince and all, but I was so... That's when her demise started. And like I said, I'm only in season 1, so I have no idea if she's gonna... I hope she redeems herself. I'm hoping at the end she's kind of defeated and weak. And like I said, I'm halfway through season 2 and she still has that same vibe. I would imagine before the end of the 8th season, well, either one, she's just gonna die, because I guess everyone dies in the show, or she's gonna totally step into her power, redeem herself, and I'll just be obsessed with her. For the first half, I was piss off, girl. You're so annoying and so just subservient. Just stand up for yourself. But then at the end, I'm it's fucking heartbreaking that all that she has to go through, and she just, ugh. When in episode 10, when Joffrey walks her out to that bridge, and she has to look at her stepdad and her dad's head cut off, I was I fucking hate you, Joffrey, and Sansa, I do respect you. That is, takes courage and bravery. So, mixed bag of emotions with Sansa. Bran, holy crap, that is a fucking hard life. Such a hard life. The fact that his whole family has left, he's the only sibling at Winterfell, and he has his little brother that he's taking care of, and he's 10, 11, maybe, just this child having to be a lord of the land. And I just feel kind of bad for him. In terms of his, him being a cripple now, that was also, okay, so when he sees we'll get there eventually, but Jaimie and Cersei having sex, who in like that moment knew that Joffrey was their son? because like in that moment, I was like, oh, this is the whole plot of this. And then like when they said the seed is strong, I mean, I was like 99% sure before that, then it just like confirmed it. I'm curious if more people had my take on that or my mom's take, because it took her until when Ned like read about it in terms of like for her to get it. But yeah, Bran, I feel like he's just a little homie. He's devoted. He's cool. He's like just devoted, cool to his kingdom. I respect him. Arya, love her. Like love her, and the fact that she is totally against being a lady and against all of like the norms of what she would be pushed into. The fact that she has the needle, that was one of my favorite scenes when Jon gave it to her and then she hugged him, and it just made me so happy. My favorite thing is to see people like break gender norms. I wonder why. And it made me just so happy to see her. And then at the fact that by the end, she's like standing up for herself, and I'm a little bit into season 2 and I love so far what's happening with her. And I think she's one of the ones that's gonna be around for the long haul. I hope so. Again, I don't know, maybe she'll die, but everyone seems to die in Game of Thrones. And then Rickon, the youngest son of Ned and Catelyn. I just feel fucking sad for this little boy. That's a really sad childhood to have. So, Rickon, I love you. I kind of feel for you though, because I had kind of a rough from like 9 to 18 as well, where I had to grow up really quickly. So him and Bran I really relate to because of that. Okay, to the Lannisters now. Cersei. I loved her at first. Now I obviously hate her. Like she's... The only redeeming quality is that she was going to allow Ned Stark to live. And like she has other ones too, you know, but like right now my thoughts about her, it's like, you know, I hate you, you're a total bitch, I don't, like you're just annoying, and not annoying, you are evil, and like just crazy, and just like power hungry, but you were going to be merciful to Ned Stark at the very end, so I respect her for that. Jaimie, also another little bitch, and he just is so, just like so subservient and so like pompous, like I'm better than everyone. I'm really glad they captured him at the end. So, yes. Tyrion, I love him so far. I think, again, he's one of the ones that I think I've seen in later seasons in terms of like, in the past 10 years, just as people mentioned stuff. I think he's still in it. Fingers crossed. I think he's a homie. My dad was mentioning it the other day as we were watching it together. Oh my gosh, I was sitting so low in my chair. How Game of Thrones really shows you like the goods and bads of people, like the full spectrum of humanity, which I'm seeing, and I love it, especially like with Tyrion. Like he goes from him being so sly and kind of gross to then being so like awesome and great. So I just kind of respect him for that. And it's really cool having someone as such a main character who is physically different from everyone else, and how that's a piece of his character. Like when Jon and him are talking, and then Jon is like, you don't know what it's like to be a bastard son, and then Tyrion is like, when you're a midget, you're always a bastard son, you know. Like I just think that's so cool, the fact that they're like portraying these different pieces of people, and like Sansa versus Arya, how it's like a very ladylike lady versus a very not ladylike lady, and I love it because it doesn't matter what you are, just be you. So yeah. Joffrey. Like I said, I knew the second that I saw Cersei and Jaimie having sex, I was like, incest, their love child. And I mean, I hate him, like clearly. I mean, that's like what's supposed to be. And especially going into season 2, now that I've seen the pieces, this is a teensy spoiler for season 2 if you haven't watched it yet, but when Tyrion sends those two whores from the whorehouse to his room, and he has the one like basically abuse the other one, I was like so disgusted at him in that moment, and they did it very well to make you not like him in that moment, so go him. Jon Snow, another absolute just heartthrob of the season. Like, let's just have a moment of silence for Jon Snow. He is so hot. Especially with like his giant cloaks that he wears, and he just like looks so it's just like so attractive. Yeah, I dig him. I think he's cool. Greyjoy, the squat, no, not squire, page, I don't know. But the one who's not the son, not the bastard son, but the other one. In season 1, I had no real strong feelings about him. I just kind of was like, I mean, you're there, cool, love it. I've seen the beginning of season 2, again, he's a little bitch, and it bugs me. Like, it bugs me that he did what he did, but I won't go into there. So finishing it is Baratheon, that family. So Robert the King, he just like bugged me. Like he was funny and cool, and I get it that was, but it was just like, dude, be a better king. Just. I mean, that's it. That's all I have to say. His brother. Obviously, because I'm gay, I was going to love his brother. And the fact that I didn't know that they were going to have like a gay person. I'd seen that one scene of Renly and Sir Lenos, just like on YouTube, like not gonna lie, that's like the only piece I'd seen of Game of Thrones was that clip when Lenos gives Renly a blowjob in like the first few episodes. But I had no idea that he was like a piece of this story and like was gonna be influential, and especially then in season 2, how they then have that be a piece. And it's just cool. I love when TV shows have gay characters in them. It just makes me happy. I wish there was more. That's the only thing that so far I would love to have seen more of in Game of Thrones. More just LGBTQ plus representation, but that's like in everything. I loved Renly and Lenos and like how just they're secretive and like they're in love, and it's just, yeah, so. And then across the skinny ocean? No, I don't know the name of it, but the piece of land, the ocean that separates the Targaryens from everyone else. Start with Khaleesi's brother. Again, a total bitch. It was so annoying how he was just so trying to exert his power, and the fact when he was like, I would let Kahl Drogo and all like 400 of his clansmen fuck you, just like to get a crown, was pretty disgusting to me. And from that moment, I hated him. I was so happy when he left, and my favorite part was when they're on their trek and then they're in the jungle. She goes into it, and then her brother comes over and tries to attack her, and then he gets whipped as Daenerys stepped into the role of the Khaleesi. I just was obsessed with that power dynamic of him going from being so in charge of her and so disgusting to then her completely just like putting him in his place. It was just so satisfying. Khaleesi then, Daenerys. I loved seeing her every time she like stepped into her power. I'm so excited for the dragons to start coming into play that she got at the end. I don't know what season it's in, but she goes to like this castle and like kills them all with the dress. I'm just excited to see these dragons come out more because it's really cool. It broke my heart when she had to like suffocate and kill Kahl Drogo, and she lost the love of her life. Which now moves us to Kahl Drogo. I am so confused because I thought that Jason Momoa was in Game of Thrones for years. So when he died at the end, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is that it? Is Kahl Drogo, like, is he gone? For now 7 more seasons. That was it. She was just in the first season. But, I don't know. We'll see. But I did absolutely love his character development, going just from this, like, ruthless man to someone who has love in his heart. I did love the way that they portrayed Daenerys versus Kahl Drogo. Like, the divine feminine versus the divine masculine. And, like, it was just so powerful to see how much like he protected her, but like the safety that he offered her allowed her to step into so much of her power, and then she protected him, and like both of those things that played off each other. It was just really beautiful to me. So I loved it, and it broke my heart that Kahl Drogo isn't there anymore. I thought him and Daenerys' love story was so beautiful. And then my favorite character in probably the entire thing was the witch, who ended up killing Kahl Drogo and then Daenerys' son. Just like the absolute beauty and impact of the lines that she said at the end when she had killed Khaleesi's son, and then Kahl Drogo was like, you know, how he is at the end. And she talks about life and the fact that it's like meaningless, and you see the value of life if you've taken everything else from it. It was like so impactful to me when she said that. I was like, holy fuck. Like, that is just so beautiful. it was just really beautiful to me. The part that she played in life. That is my breakdown, personally. My personal thoughts on each character in season 1 of Game of Thrones, 10 years after the fact, watching in 2021, came out in 2011, and I'm really excited. I have 7 more seasons. If after I'm done editing this and putting it up, I want to do it again for the other seasons, I'll do it. If not, I won't. And I hope you have an amazing day. If you would like to follow me more and like just interact with me more, all my socials are down below. I have a TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, YouTube, just anything that you'd like to do to support me, I would be honored. And I love you. Have a great day.